And have your knees bent or your legs straight. And as you land into that shape, just notice if you want to move your arms a little bit to make yourself more comfortable, or if you want to move your legs a little bit so your feet are flat on the floor or your knees are bent, and you're really just finding how your spine meets the floor. And just land, just arrive onto the floor. Just feeling into just the feeling tones of you in this moment. The feeling of your face, the feeling of your chest, the feeling of your belly, the feeling of your spine. Did you have a very busy day? Did you have a very quiet day? Was it a lot of effort to get here? You know, some of you, this is your first time on Zoom with me. You know, was that a thing? Was it hard to organize, or was it easy for you? Just lengthen the breath into your belly so that as you inhale, you have a feeling of expansion, a feeling of filling into the belly. And as you exhale, you have a feeling of softening and settling. Sorry. So I'm just going to close the door. So as you were softening there and then abruptly awake, sorry about that. So yeah, so just settling the breath into the belly as you expand into the breath, as you drop into the exhalation. Can you feel how your breath pushes into your clothing? Can you feel how your breath widens into the floor behind you? Now it drops into the pelvic floor or into the sides of your waist. Just that sense of the breath in your belly right now. And then from all the places in your body right now, where do you feel well in your body? Where do you feel a sense of okayness in your body right now? A place of comfort, a place of just, I'm okay in that place and I can feel my foot, or I can feel my hand, or I can notice the weight of my elbow. Whatever it is, just bring your awareness to the feeling of the sense of wellness of you. Nice. Great. So your knees are bent and your feet are flat on the floor. You can have your hands, if you wish, on your lower belly, or your arms can be long beside you. And then pull your lower back down and flatten into the floor. And as you arch, breathe into your belly as you arch the lower back. So we're doing the pelvic tilt. So as you flatten down into the floor, you roll along the spine. And as you arch, there's a space between the lower back and the floor. So you're flattening down the pelvic tilt and then arching a small space between the lower back and the floor. So as you flatten, as you arch, find the textures of the sensation. Is it smooth? Is it gravelly? Is it jerky? Is it tight? Is it short? Is it whatever? Just notice as you arch, as you flatten, as you arch. And if you find that making the movement is painful, then make the movement smaller. And if you find that even that is uncomfortable, then make the movement a lot slower. So the slower you go, the easier it is for your body to manage sensations. So slowing things down a lot really helps you feel into your body and keep yourself safe. So flatten your lower back into the floor, bring your arms wide beside you so you're into a T, and then slowly begin to sway your knees from side to side and only go as far as feels comfortable. So the first few times that you sway, you might make a small movement, or the movement might be big from the beginning, but your sensations will decide what happens to your knees or where you go with your knees. So as you sway from one side to the other side, how is that through your hips, through your buttocks, through the lower back, through the belly? And really allow that movement will create movement. So don't force your body, but as we move, things begin to change. So just sway your knees gently from side to side. If things are uncomfortable, slow it down and make the movement smaller. As small as feels comfortable is the trick with these movements. Nice. And then come back to center. Squeeze your right knee up onto your chest, hug it in. And as you squeeze your right knee deeply down, allow that your buttock lengthens, your thigh is drawn down towards your belly, and you have a sense of really widening into the lower back. Breathing down into your belly. And then holding on to your knee, gently and steadily, just draw your knee from side to side. So you're drawing your knee from right to left, from right to left, and you're just feeling, how does my thigh move from side to side? How does the bone of my hip meet my pelvis as I draw my knee from side to side while holding onto my knee? Nice. Bring both arms long beside you. We're now going to circle with our right knee. So you're circling your right knee in the air above you, and you're making the movement as small as feels good for you, or as big as feels good for you. Circling, noticing how you stabilize with the pelvis as you roll the circle, and then in the other direction, circling, circling, and circling. Super. And draw your right knee towards you, interlock your fingers, and then lift the left foot off the floor and draw your left knee up towards you until your left knee bangs into your left elbow, more or less. And then lower the left foot down till your toes tap the floor, your knee is bent, and just travel up and down with the left leg. And maybe your left foot travels a little bit further away every time. Maybe it doesn't. Really listen to your spine. Maybe you straighten your left leg out so it floats just above the floor, or maybe you find that's too strong for you. Just listen in, really find the edge, or find the expression of wellness in your body. You're not forcing, you're not causing pain, you're just listening to your body in wellness. Squeeze your knee up and stretch it out in whatever way it goes. And one more time, draw your knee up and stretch it out long wherever it goes. Nice. Lower the left foot to the floor and then bring your right ankle to rest on top of the left knee. Bring your elbows to the floor a little bit out from your sides and then rock gently from side to side. So now we've loaded our twist a little bit more. So notice how that is for you as you rock from side to side. Maybe the movement has to be smaller because there's more weight into the pelvis. Maybe not. Really use your elbows, even stretch your arms out long if you find that supports you more. Those of you who haven't been on Zoom before, I have a flock of geese who are screaming so much at the moment, it's just unbelievable. There's a teenage gander and then there's a grown gander, and there might be, I think there's definitely two ganders, there might be three, and they're just like, wah! All day long, all night even. Good thing we have no neighbours. Great, lower your foot to the floor and just pause there. As you pause there, your hands are maybe resting on your belly, And you're just breathing down into your hands. And just appreciating your pelvis, your belly, your spine. Nice. And draw the left knee up onto your chest and hug it in. You're compressing it down, you're feeling the thigh meeting the belly. And then holding onto your knee, draw your knee from side to side. And you're just noticing that this really moves the hip socket deeply. And so for me, there's always a difference. I always say this between one side and the other. And I'm just aware and interested in the difference. That one side there's less movement. Well, that's okay. Just notice for you how that is as you draw your knee from side to side while you hold on to your shin. Release your hands, bring them long beside you, and then circle your knee in this space above you. So for me, my right foot is really steady on the floor, and I'm drawing this circle with my left knee, and then circle in the other direction. Just feeling into, sensing into the thigh, the hip, the pelvis, the buttock. Nice. Draw your knee up towards you, squeeze it in. And then lift the right foot off the floor and draw your right knee up towards you. And let your right knee come to touch your right elbow more or less. And then let your right toes touch the floor. And draw your knee up towards you. And just travel in and out of that leg. And find the expression of wellness of that leg. Let it slowly, steadily hop a little bit further. And then back in. And then maybe a little bit further. Or just find your limit, your edge of that feels like enough for me. As your leg travels in, as your leg travels out. As your leg travels in, as it travels out. Nice. Draw both knees up towards you and just rock from side to side. As you rock, just feel that into the spine, the shoulders, the hips. Oh, sorry. So rocking from side to side, easing from one side to the other. Nice, and then bring both feet to the floor, bring your hands to your belly. Oh my God. And just pausing there, hands on your belly. And you're breathing into your belly. Just let that settle. Just let that drop and settle. Breath is in your belly, the sense of weight of your spine. Nice. So rolling over onto your right side and come all the way up into your cat pose. So rolling all the way over, bring both hands underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. Grab the floor with your fingers, and if you find that your knees get sore when you're kneeling, then have an extra blanket or have a rolled up yoga mat for underneath your knees. And then just looking over your right shoulder, look over and look at your right foot. Come back to center, and then look over your left shoulder and look at your left foot. And just travel from side to side, and notice when you begin to feel the stretch of the side of your body, and really allow that you stop before it becomes uncomfortable. So this movement, as we travel from one side to the other, we could make it really strong, but you're just meeting the side of your body as you go one way, and meeting the side of your body as you go the other way. Yes. One more time, each side, one way, and then the other way. Come to neutral. Round your back, tuck your chin under, looking towards your belly button, and then lifting your chest and looking forward. Rounding your back, tuck your chin under, looking towards your belly button. Lifting your chest and looking forward. Oh, nice. See, stop. Rounding your back, tuck your chin under, looking towards your belly button. And lifting your chest and looking forward. Nice. Sit your bum all the way back and come to rest. Oh, let's do child's pose. As you rest in your child's pose. I'm sorry. I feel like a doormate to a dog this evening. So as you rest in your child's pose, just really let yourself rest down with your head, let your belly be on your thighs. And really allow yourself to deeply settle. The breath is in your belly, you're feeling how you lengthen your spine. So allow your head to drop more and more towards the floor. Allow a rounding of your spine down. And easing through the back of the body as you breathe into your belly. Nice. And bring both hands forward, coming into your cat pose, and then pushing back into your downward dog. So downward dog, there's a sense of pushing into both hands, of drawing back into both heels. Your legs are long and you're creating a sense of connection from the soles of your feet to the palms of your hands. Nice. Slowly bending your knees. Allow your knees to drop down and touch the floor lightly. And then stretching back into your downward dog. And then bending your knees. Let them touch the floor lightly. And then stretching back into your downward dog. Nice. One more time. Bend your knees, let them touch the floor lightly. And then stretching back into your downward dog. Nice. Both knees on the floor. And then reach your right hand forward. So as you reach your right hand forward, drop your head down in the direction of the floor. So my right hand is further out and I'm dropping my forehead down towards the floor. There's a sense of reaching and lengthening through the right armpit and the whole right side of the body. My bum is in the air, my feet are still on the floor. Nice. Come all the way back up. Reach the left hand further forward and then drop your head down in the direction of the floor. Really allowing a length through the left armpit, through the chest, through the belly. Down, coming all the way back up. Reach your right hand to the right and allow your chest to drop down towards the floor. Reaching your right hand out and really feel that your chest is falling down and that you're looking towards your right hand. And then come all the way back up. Bring your hand towards the left and look towards the left as well. And you're drawing your chest down towards the floor and you're looking towards your left hand. And coming all the way up. Nice. From here, bring yourself to the floor. So lie your belly down onto the floor and then bend your elbows so that your head is resting on the back of your hands. And you have a sense of your hips and let them maybe rock a little bit from side to side so you have a feeling that your hips are placing themselves a little bit more even on the floor. And lift your chest up and place it back down so you feel like your chest is in a good place. And then reach long into the right toes and try and lift the right thigh a little bit off the floor or make the right thigh a bit lighter on the floor. And then lower your leg down. And then lengthen into the left leg and reach back to the left leg. Let your foot lift off the floor. Let your thigh get light. Lowering down. And then the right leg again, rising up through that right leg. Feel your bum squeezing. Feel the length of your leg. Lower your leg down. And one more time, left leg lengthens long behind you. And just feel the sense of opening through the front of your thigh. And lowering down. Nice. Bend both knees so your soles of your feet are facing the floor, facing the ceiling, and lift your head a little bit off the floor. So literally It's just hovering a little bit off the floor, and your elbows are supporting your torso. And then lift your right knee off the floor, lower it down, and then lift your left knee off the floor and lower it down. Nice. Right knee off the floor and lowering down. Left knee off the floor and lowering down. Nice. Stretch both legs long, drop your head down, turn it to the side, and just shake your bum from side to side, or rock your bum from side to side. And then let your breath settle into your belly. And then just feel that through the deep of your belly. Nice. And then just come up into an easy pose where you're up on your elbows, and your elbows are on the floor, your elbows are underneath your shoulders, and then look over your right shoulder to look back towards your right foot. For me, I see it out of the corner of my eye more so than, actually I can see it if I turn a lot more, but careful into your neck as you do this, listen to your neck, and then come back to center. And then look over your left shoulder, and see your left foot behind you. And coming back. Look over your right shoulder, looking down along your leg. And coming back. And look over your left shoulder. And coming back. Take your right hand and reach back and scratch the back of your thigh on the right, or touch the back of your thigh on the right. So you're reaching back to hold on to the back of your thigh, and then come back, and then reach back with the left hand to touch the back of your thigh. Nice, and come back. Super. Walk your elbows a little bit more back, tuck your toes under, drop your head down, and slowly rising up. So you are on your elbows and your knees, and then come to your hands and your knees. Rounding your back, tuck your chin under, looking towards the belly button, and then lifting your chest. Lifting your chest, arching your back, look forward. Feels like a zoo sometimes. Round your back, tuck your chin under, looking towards your belly button, and arching your back and looking forward. Nice. So take your right foot and bring it. So if you look now at where your right hand is and where your right knee is, it's going to be halfway between the two and a little bit out to the side of your mat. So take your right foot halfway between your right hand and where your right knee was, and a little bit wider. And you can help it there if you need to with your hand. And then for me, I really like tucking my left toe under and just rock a little bit back so your bum is traveling back towards the left heel. And then rock forward so your hands are over, your shoulders are over your hands. So rocking back and then forward, rocking back and forward, rocking back and forward. Nice. Bring both knees to the floor. Other side, bring the left foot halfway between the left hand and the left knee and slightly out to the side. Sit your bum, tuck your right toes under, sit your bum back, and then forward. Sit your bum back, forward. One last time. Sit your bum back and forward. Nice. Bring both knees to the floor. Lift your knees off the floor and then walk your feet a little bit forward. Walk your hands a little bit back. Bend your knees enough that your belly and your thigh are meeting, so that you have a sense of really rounding through your back. You're rounding through the lower back and the chest. And then just rise up to bring your elbows to your knees. And pause there. Elbows on your knees, and your bum is sticking out behind you. Your shoulders are supported by the contact of your elbows on your knees. Nice. Bring your right hand to your right knee and then turn your chest towards the right. So as you turn your chest towards the right, you have that sense of really looking in the distance. You know, how would you look as far as you can? Always when I think of looking further, I lengthen my spine and I seem to engage something a little bit more when I think of my eyes having to see further away than me. Bring your right fingers to the front of your right shoulder and then lift your right elbow up so that you dial in your twist a little bit more, and then reach your right hand up towards the ceiling. Just allow your chest to widen. Really feel the support of your left elbow on your left knee. Nice. Bend your elbow and bring your elbow to your knee. And then the other side. Bring your left hand to your left knee and see if you can see at a distance. How far away can you see? How long can you see away from you? Can you lengthen through your spine? Can you open your eyes a little bit more? Nice. And then bring your left fingers to the front of the left shoulder. Dial in your twist a little bit more. And then extend your left hand up towards the ceiling. So at any stage of any of these additional instructions feels like, oh no, that's not great for me, then just reverse and come to the version before. And just lengthening up through your fingers. Really feel the push of your right elbow into your knee and the reach of your fingers towards the ceiling. Nice. Bring both elbows to your knees. Cool. From here, bring your right hand to the floor out in front of you. And then bring your elbow to your knee. And then bring your left hand to the floor out in front of you. And bring your elbow to your knee. Bring both hands to your knees. And then slowly rounding all the way up to stand. Bring your hands to your hips and just gently and steadily roll out through your hips. And then roll in the other direction. Rolling, rounding. Just feeling the different parts of your hips that you meet as you do this. The sides, the front, the deep, the back. Nice. And then come to stand tall. Your feet are a little bit wider than hip distance apart. And then slide your right hand down so you're coming down towards the outside of your right knee. And then come back up. And then slide your left hand down so you're sliding down to the outside of the left knee. And so just glide from side to side and you're listening to your rib cage. Listening to the breath. So as you slide your right hand down, glide your left hand up like you're trying to bring your left fingers to your armpit. And down. And as you glide the left hand down, draw your right fingers to your right armpit. So you're doing opposites. Right hand down, left fingers up. And left hand down, right fingers up. Nice. One more time each side. Side bending to the right, left elbow goes up. And side bending to the left, right elbows go up. Nice. And then roll out deeply into your shoulders. As you roll, just feel the collarbones, your shoulder blades. I'm always really aware of my neck as soon as I start to roll into my shoulders. And then roll in the other direction. Big circles with your shoulders. Nice. So feet are still a little bit wider than hip distance. Bring your elbows to your knees. And then make fists out of your hands and roll into your wrists. And then roll in the other direction. Open your fingers wide, and then make fists. Open your fingers wide, and make fists. Nice. Come to stand all the way up. Just shake out through your hands. Shake, shake, shake. And then shake out through your arms. Nice. Cool. So stand to the front of your mat. So you're standing at the front of your mat and your feet are maybe 2 or 3 inches apart, not all that wide apart. And then reach your arms wide and bring your palms together and look up as you reach up. And then bending your elbows, bending your knees, come all the way down to bring your hands either side of your feet and tuck your chin in and draw your forehead to your knees. Bring your hands to your shins, lift your chest and look forward. Bring your hands to the floor, either side of both of your feet, and then lift your right foot up and stretch it back so it comes to the floor, and then drop your right knee to the floor. Bring your left hand to your left knee, and then rising up, reach your right hand up towards the ceiling, reaching up and looking up. Really find the length of your torso as you reach up. Reach out and forward. So keep your left hand on your knee. As you reach your right hand forward, you're going to gently touch the floor. And again, rising up. Reach your right hand up towards the ceiling, reaching up and looking up. Nice. Bend your right elbow and bring your right hand to the floor. And your right hand is underneath your right shoulder. So it's near your left foot, but there's maybe around 12 inches between the two. And then turn your chest towards the left. And then pull your left elbow up, so your fingers are to the front of the left shoulder, and then extend the left hand up towards the ceiling. Breathe into your belly as you twist. At any stage, if you find the twist is too deep for your spine, then just come back to a version of this that suits either hand on your knee or fingers on your shoulder. Just see what's right for you. Nice. Bend your elbow. Bring your hand to the floor. Bring your left foot back till both knees are on the floor. Round your back, tuck your chin under, looking towards your belly button. And arching your back and looking forward. Nice. Round your back. And as you round your back, begin to sit your bum back towards your heels. And then come all the way forward. When you're all the way forward, arch your back and look forward, lifting through the chest. And again, round your back, looking towards your navel, and then sit your bum back towards your heels, keeping your spine rounded as you sit your bum back. And then stay rounded, come all the way forward, arch the back and look forward. Nice. Lift the right foot up and bring the right foot to where the right knee was, and then help the right foot forward. So either help it with your hand, or you can rise up and step the right foot forward, and then bring both hands to the floor. Nice. You're going to stretch into the back leg, so see how that feels for you. If this feels strong enough, then stay here. Otherwise, stretch into that left leg. So your left leg is straight, your right knee is bent, and both hands are on the floor. You have a sense of really deepening into your hips, into the strength of your legs. But at any stage, just drop your knee to the floor. Nice. From here, slowly hop your back foot forward. Hop, 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 really slowly until both feet are forward, and then slowly rolling up. And when your hands are near your thighs, reach your arms wide, bring your palms together, looking up, and then palms come down to rest in front of your chest. Nice. So we'll do the same again on the other side. So drop your arms down and then reach your arms wide, reaching up and looking up. Bending your elbows, bending your knees, come all the way down. Hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins. Lift your chest as you straighten your arms, you're arching your back as you look forward. Hands to the floor. Stretch that left foot back behind you, step it to the floor, drop your left knee to the floor, bring your right hand to your right knee, and then rising up with your fingers, reach up and look up. Find the length from your knee all the way up into your fingertips. Super. Glide out and forward, so reaching out forward, and bring your fingertips to the floor. And then rising up from that place, using your hand on your knee for support as you rise. Lifting up, looking up. Bend your elbow and bring your hand to the floor. From here, using your hand on your knee, turn your chest towards the right. And then bring your fingers to the front of your right shoulder. Dial in your twist. And reach your right hand up towards the ceiling. So we're twisting through the chest, we're opening, and we're breathing into your belly. Nice. Bend your elbow, bring your hand to the floor, bring both knees back towards each other. Both hands are on the floor underneath your shoulders. Round your back and sit your bum back towards your heels, moving slowly. Stay rounded, come all the way forward. When you're all the way forward, lift your chest and look forward. And again, rounding your back, sit your bum back towards your heels. And rising up. Lift your chest and look forward. Nice. Come to a neutral spine. Bring your left foot to where your left knee was. And then either help your foot forward or rise up and step your foot forward. Bring both hands to the floor. So your two hands are underneath your shoulders. Your left foot is outside your left hand. Stay here or lift the back knee off the floor. Very nice. Find your belly, find your breath. And then really slowly begin to hop your back foot forward, or whatever version of that gets you forward. Slowly rounding, bending your knees. Reach your arms wide, bring your palms together, reaching up, looking up. And then palms come to rest in front of your chest. Very nice. So come rest into child's pose. Come all the way down. I love having my knees a little bit wide, it gives space for my belly. I love having my elbows supporting me. And see what's right for you. How do you land? How do you sink your belly down? How do you find your breath? Nice. Coming all the way up and come sit on your mat. So you can do this thing where you roll your mat up a little bit. So sit with your legs long in front of you, and then take whatever bit of the mat is behind you and kind of roll it up a bit so that you're sitting on something a little bit higher. So to just give you a little bit of a boost or a push underneath your bum, or if you have a yoga block or a pillow or something beside you, then go grab that. So you're sitting with something just a little bit higher underneath your bum, and it'll help your spine. If you feel like that's not enough, then roll up a blanket or grab something from around you to sit on, okay? And then, so I'm going to sit facing you. So then come into a cross-legged. So bring your left foot on the inside and your right foot on the outside. And with the support of your bum, it should feel like it's easier to sit up tall. Nice. Just feel that your knees are dropping out, you're lengthening through the spine. Nice. And then just turn and look over your right shoulder and bring your left hand to your right knee and just see how far around the corner you can look. Just let your breath be easy. Nice. And then turn in the other direction. Turn, look over your left shoulder. Bring your right hand to your left knee, looking around the corner. And come all the way back to center. Lean back, Bring your feet forward in front of you, and then just roll out through one ankle, and then in the other direction. Bring that foot to the floor, roll out into the other ankle, and then the other direction. Nice. So bring the right foot inside, the left foot outside, and come into a cross-legged position here. Nice. And then reach the right hand out to the side. Just reaching it out to the side, and just feel that through the belly. And then back to center. And then reach the left hand out to the side. And then back to center. One more time. Over towards the right. Fingers are floating just above the floor. And then back to center. And then left hand, fingers are floating just above the floor. And back to center. Nice. Bring both feet off the floor and roll both feet. Make sure you're on something that's solid so you're not going to fall backwards. And just roll both feet. And then hug your knees in towards you. Nice. And your feet are still floating, and maybe wiggle your toes a little bit there. Nice. And then bring the soles of your feet together and your knees apart. Your bum is still on the support, and hold on to your shins. And so there's this thing, and it's not based on flexibility, it's like the shape of your hips. If you feel like being with something a little bit higher underneath your bum doesn't suit your hips with your knees wide, then just take the thing out from underneath your bum. Otherwise, stay where you are. So hold on to your shins and get tall. And as you pull on your shins, feel like you can lengthen up through the top of your head a little bit more. And there's a sense of stretching through the top of your head, you're widening your chest. And then take your right hand and reach it forward and just touch the floor in front of you, wherever that is. And then come back, hold on to your shin, sit up really tall. And then bring the left hand forward and touch the floor in front of you. And then coming back. Nice. Bend the right elbow into your side and then reach your right hand up, reaching up and looking up. And guys, sorry. And then bend, draw your hand down, and then bend your left elbow in and reach the left hand up towards the ceiling, reaching up, looking up. And lowering down. Nice. And then bring your feet a little bit further apart, so they're around 6 inches between your feet, and then rock so that you lift one bum off your pillow cushion thing, and then you lift the other bum up. So you're just rocking your bum from one side to the other, and you're just lifting one bum off the floor. I'm kind of rocking so that my foot comes to stand a little bit. So I'm rocking my bum a little bit up, and then rocking my bum a little bit up. Nice. And then stretch both legs out in front of you, and then roll out through your belly. So you can remove the thing from underneath your bum if you want, or just push yourself forward so you're off it, or stay on it if you wish, and then roll into your belly. So as you roll into your belly, as you feel the movement of the deep of you, rolling, and then roll in the other direction. Maybe feeling into the sense of your spine. Nice. Round your back like you're going to try and bring your nose to your belly button. And then hands on your thighs, lift your chest and look up towards the ceiling. And drop your head down like you're going to try and bring your nose to your belly button. And then rising up, lifting up and looking up towards the ceiling. Nice. One more time. Drop your nose down in the direction of your belly button. Pausing there, feeling the back of your neck soften, the back of your shoulders soften. And then rising up and looking up. Lengthening through the spine as you look up towards the ceiling. Nice. And then just roll your shoulders, big circles into your shoulders. So people often ask me, you know, what is the best way to free up my spine or to strengthen my spine, roll your shoulders in the other direction? It's just literally sit on the floor. If you have a floor at home, I know you do. You can get your, sit down, just sit on the floor. You know, 10 minutes a day sitting on the floor will begin to change something really dramatically into your body. So nice. So come lie on your back. So flatten out your mat, bend your knees, and then holding onto your knees or your thighs, slowly roll down until you land on the floor. Have both feet on the floor, knees are bent, and let your spine settle. Often there's kind of an achy settling that can happen here. Just let that happen. Let yourself arrive. Breath is in your belly, you're softening into the breath. Nice. Bring your arms wide beside you and then just sway your knees from side to side, and start with a small movement as you sway. As you sway in one direction and then in the other direction. Let the movement create movement. Allow a softening into it. Nice. Bring your arms long beside you, and then pushing your feet down into the floor, slowly begin to roll up and down along your spine. So again, let the movement create movement. So start with a small version of this, and then gradually perhaps you allow it to get bigger, or maybe it just stays small. So just pushing down into your feet, lifting up through your hips, and then rolling down along your spine to land on the floor, and just travel up and down. Really feel into your hips as you travel up and as you travel down. Nice. One more time. Traveling up and pause on the up. Feet are flat on the floor. Your feet are strong. Your bum is squeezing. The front of your hips is opening. Your shoulders are wide, your neck is comfortable, and the shape of your spine is comfortable for you. So that could be where your bum is 1 inch off the floor. That could be where your bum is 10 inches off the floor. It really doesn't matter. It's about cultivating an awareness of your shapes of wellness. Nice. And then slowly lower all the way down until you land on the floor. So bend your right knee up onto your chest and squeeze it in. And just pause there, really settling with the deep squeeze of your belly to your thigh, and your thigh to your belly. Nice. And then straighten out through your right leg and just hold on gently behind your right leg, so you're not stretching into the back of your leg. And maybe wiggle your toes gently and soften into the leg if you can. You're not pulling strongly, you're just holding your leg, and that in itself is going to create some tone and texture to the back of your leg. Nice. And then bend your knee and bring your foot to the floor. Correct. Draw the left knee up towards you. Squeeze the left knee down. Nice. And then stretch up through the left leg and hold on somewhere down along the back of the left leg. Whatever place you feel is right for you, just holding on to it, and drop your shoulders and sink a bit deeper. Wiggling your toes. Nice. And bend your knee, bring your foot to the floor. Nice. So draw both knees up towards you, squeeze both knees in, and pull both knees. So you're holding onto your knees with your hands and you're pulling your knees towards you. You have a sense of leaning into the lower back a little bit more. And stretch through both legs. So you're stretching through both legs, maybe you're holding onto both legs somewhere, and just allow your lower back and bum to soften. Breathing down into your belly, and with your toes a little bit. Bend your knees a little bit, and then straighten through your legs. Bend your knees a little bit, and straighten through your legs. Nice. Lower both feet to the floor, one foot and then the other, and have your feet so they're as wide as your mat. So you should feel the edges of your mat underneath your feet. Stretch your arms out to your sides, and then drop both knees down towards the right, and turn your head also towards the right. And then just soften through your face, maybe softening into your eyes, softening into your lips, your nose, your expression. Perhaps even have a soft smile on your face, and let that softness really influence your chest. There's certain wiring in our body, so our face and our chest are kind of wired together. So the expression on our face actually makes us feel certain things. So the more you smile, the more you feel like smiling. Nice. Bring your head back to center. Bring your knees back up to center. Drop your knees to the left and look with your head over towards the left as well. And again, soften your face. Soften your lips, your eyes. Have a smile on your face. And just feel the sense of the smiling does something to you. Nice, and then come all the way back up to center. So just walking your feet so they're closer together. So you have the option of either having your feet flat on the floor for relaxation. You have the option of lying on your side, lying on your belly, lying with your legs out straight, putting a pillow onto your knees. Sometimes if your back is sensitive, lying on your side is really, really nice. So just see what you need to do, what you want to do. Maybe a blanket is very nice, a pillow underneath your head. Something that really supports you right now, allows you to rest. And wherever you are, however you're resting, just let yourself land into it. Let your breath deepen. So that as you inhale down into your belly, as you exhale, how do you really feel the breath in your belly? Really letting the sense of your breath lull you or support you or soften you, help you deepen in this moment. I was talking about it in my morning classes. I've been researching this thing called biomimicry, where the sciences, the engineering, and the architecture kind of guys, they're looking at what nature does, and they're using the skills of nature in ways of creating things like cement or steel or spiders' webs, looking at all these different things. And I've kind of been looking at it in a different way than they do, because that's not my skill set. It's more like, what kind of animal, or what kind of, what force in nature, or what embodied sense of nature would support me right now, so, could being like the ocean, or being like the wind, or feeling the sense of the, it's just like the earth, and just all the different elements of being on this planet, and how they're all in us. We embody them to a greater or lesser degree. And so as you lie here, what in nature do you feel like right now? As you rest in your body, what resonates in you right now? Nice. So just taking a deep breath and begin to stretch out through your arms and reach into your body, and just find your way into movement. Really just feeling maybe the yawn of you, the stretch of you, the length of you. Maybe rocking from side to side, maybe squeezing your knees up towards you. Maybe just lengthening, connecting. Nice. Have a lovely day.